Either Jeffrey MacDonald slaughtered his family, or there were intruders imitating the Manson family. The mystery is about what happened in that house.
Wilderness of Air is a multi-part true crime documentary series about the famous MacDonald case.
Back in 1970,
Dr. Jeffrey MacDonald has been charged with the murders of his pregnant wife and their 2 young daughters. MacDonald blamed the crime on a group of hippies.
And what's unique about this series is that it makes the whole story come alive all over again.
It's the most popularized crime in American history. He's been swirling through the public consciousness for 50 years.
a best-selling book, the miniseries.
The television movie Fatal Vision.
Errol Morris wrote a book that brought into question the conviction in 1979.
I wanted to write it because the case bothered me. It's an investigator's dream that you can solve a case, you can solve a murder. Not so simple here. The answers to who did it, what happened, why it happened, are elusive.
The real perpetrators of the crime could never be found.
Errol Morris has one of the greatest minds of any storyteller I've ever met.
I met Errol, and we came up with the idea of doing a documentary about it that would hopefully reinvestigate the murders. The book was the starting place, but ultimately we had to do our own investigation.
It has gone beyond the book in the sense that Marc has been enormously successful at getting people to talk to him, doing additional research.
We tried to track down everybody who was connected to the case. And these people kept a lot of the investigative materials, newspaper articles, and audio and video recordings of events that had happened years ago.
If somebody kills your daughter and 2 grandchildren, are you supposed to sit back and do nothing about it?
This documentary takes a look at all these things. But it's not my job to tell the viewer what to think. It's my job to present all this stuff. It's imperative you have an open mind. Otherwise, you'll get caught into a bias that could affect your storytelling. And you have to try to tell this story in a neutral way. And that's what we did here.
You feel that you should have the answer. You feel that you're close to the answer, but then it slips away.
At the end of each episode, you're 100% convinced you know exactly what happened until the next episode, and you're 100% convinced the other way.
It really started to raise questions in your mind of what were they doing?
This case had so much publicity. It was on the headlines every day.
There was all this storytelling swirling around 1970 when the murders happened, and 1979 when the trial happened, and 2012 when the evidentiary hearing happened. And we needed a way to tell the audience that there were multiple views from multiple outlets, multiple storytellers about these events. So we've created a new way of storytelling in true crime documentaries, using audio in a way that's never been used on television before.
The crime scene handling by the Army is a primary example of a crime scene investigation gone mad.
And we created this spinning television monster to tell the audience that this was a big deal.
What happens when a narrative takes the place of reality?
I was most impressed by Marc's dramatizations he did of the crime. He shot them as if they were from a narrative film.
And as I looked to the right, I saw a woman. I said, what the hell is she doing here?
And we used cinematic recreations because I thought putting the viewer in the era that we're examining was really important.
The next thing I know, I heard some screaming.
What a strange, strange, strange story. A product of the times, the craziness of the times.
People are drawn to true crime because we can't imagine ourselves committing these crimes, but we're fascinated by it.
When the stakes are high, we want answers. A family was brutally murdered. We want to know what happened, who did it, why.
Blumhouse is most known for our scary movies, and there's nothing more scary than true events. By the unexpected nature of it, by the gruesome nature of it, but also by the mystery of it.
And as you go through the story, you're going to vacillate between guilt and innocence.
There's a reason for the title, a wilderness of confusion, of mistakes, of misconceptions, a wilderness of error.